Good morning, everybody. Lee Brower here, and welcome to this week's edition of Meaningful Monday. I am grateful to be here, and I am glad to be here. And where are we? We are in Seattle, Washington. Grateful to be here for Monday Night Football. This is a way that Lori and I have set up a tradition to celebrate our anniversary. Even though it's several months late, it's become a ritual, if you will, and I'm grateful for that. But we will be home tomorrow. We will be home tomorrow so that we can vote. And, as I think about this particular election, I hope it's a wake-up call for us because never before have we been left with such, I'm going to call it options. Maybe you've heard me talk about in the past about giving up our choices, our agency, our free agency, and replacing them with options. I think about the movie ratings system. Think about it. In the 1960s, the movie rating system came into play. And the whole idea was driven around this is a way to help families, to help parents be able to make better decisions about the movies that they send their kids to. So we welcomed it. We were excited to see that. We were willing to trade our moral agency or moral responsibility for a service that provided us with options. So we have the options. We can go to a G-rated movie, a PG-rated movie. We can go to a PG-13 or an R-rated movie, non-rated. It's our choice. But we had choices that we thought we were delegating those choices to somebody else. But the reality is we gave those choices away. Once we gave those choices away, they were replaced with options. Have you ever sat in a theater sitting next to your spouse and you're watching a movie and you go, what is this show rated? Wow, this is rated PG or PG-13? My goodness, what's going on? Do you think our kids saw this? Boy, I hope they don't see this movie. Because what's the first thing that when our kids come in to see a movie, what's the first thing we say? Well, one of the first things, we want to know what's the movie, who are you going with, and what's it rated? So we've replaced moral agency with options. Well, it's happening to us everywhere with the explosion of technology, with the explosion of all of the things that influencers are allowed to do. When the movie industry can influence the rating, then we have given away our choice and replaced it with options. Is this happening to our political system? Are we as Americans giving away our choice and watching it be replaced right in front of our very eyes with options? Before being elected president, while still serving in Congress, James Garfield, at the 100th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence, so it was July 4th of 1876. He said the following: now more than ever, the people are responsible for the character of their Congress. If that body be ignorant, reckless, and corrupt, it is because the people tolerate ignorance, recklessness, and corruption. If it be intelligent, brave, and pure, it is because the people demand those high qualities to represent them in the national legislature. If the next centennial does not find us a great nation, it will be because those who represent the enterprise, the culture, and the morality of the nation do not aid in controlling the political forces. So we keep hearing, get out and vote, do this, do that. But yet we're letting the influencers carve away at our moral agency and replace it with what? They replace it with options. And we're now in our presidential election, we're down to two options. We've given away our agency, we've given away our choices. And if you follow what President Garfield says, which I totally agree with, if that happens, it's because of us. If we tolerate ignorance, recklessness, and corruption, then we're going to end up with ignorance, recklessness, and corruption. We have a responsibility to be owners. If we're going to be beneficiaries of this great country, we have a responsibility to be owners of this country, and that means taking responsibility early on. Not every 4 years to just run out and vote and be able to make a decision on our options, but to influence those options with our moral agency. To band together with moral agency, make sure our moral agency, the right, is protected. And then as we protect that, we elect the right officers, the right officials, and legislate for the right laws so that when it comes down to having options, we've got the options that are a result of our choices and agency. Now get out and vote tomorrow. Get out and vote tomorrow. Make this the first step to your getting involved. And I feel like I'm talking to a mirror, because I personally need to be more involved, not just around election time, but from day one. Day one, if I'm going to accept what this country votes for, if I'm going to accept the options, then I need to be involved early on so that I have a part of that. I invite you to join me. I invite us to get more active in this. Let's start by voting, and then let's start getting choice back into it. Eliminate just the options. Do what's right. Be meaningful. Make this a meaningful week. I'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.